How about making DRC a MotK plus A&T collaboration? The format is good, so why not have MotK just be a part of it?
The venerable Cactu. 'Twas a short time ago. Shorter now than it seems. In a place you perhaps have seen in your nightmares. For the tragedy that you are about to be told took place in the Touhou Banfest forum of old. Now, you probably wondered where Banfests come from. If you haven't, I'd say it's time you begun. The tragedy unfolded with this threat. Carissa, a moderator on this website, was in need for ideas for possible Touhou competitions. As an example, she mentioned the widely successful dodging rain competition, DRC for short. The fabled player, Cactu, a man so powerful, he fought vampires until he sustained grave injuries. To this day, he has not recuperated, made the suggestion to merge DRC and make it into a collaboration project between MotK and A&T. However, Carissa saw not the benefits of such a combined effort. She pleaded to someone to enlighten her on them. The hero of our story, Sakurei, a champion who bested the immortal Phoenix, came forward. Calmly he elucidated as to why the fabled player's idea was a good one. The man shrouded in mystery because he's black and you can't see him in the dark, ZM, who happens to be mastermind behind DRC, also agreed. So through an exhausting exploit, the path was set. If not for one scoundrel, Carissa, scoundrel who excels at nothing, herself was averse to the idea. However, the scoundrel did not enunciate her disapproval of the idea. Nay, this scoundrel instead stated a falsehood. This falsehood being most active players use both sites now. Our hero once again acted in righteous manner, correcting the mistake, naming numerous sheep who were not in the clutches of either website. However, unknown to our hero, the scoundrel made contact with the mysterious black man in secret.
It's been emphasized that a collaboration seems to have significant interest. The idea doesn't seem especially reasonable to me compared to hosting a mostly independent MotK contest with time and coordination so that replay submission intervals never overlap, but feel free to try to convince me if you think it is a chance. That's why I'm offering into PM, where Sakurei can't interfere. The problem is that DRC is already well defined. It wouldn't be a collaboration if the only difference is sign-ups on multiple sites. It'd just be giving in to Sakurei's attempts at bullying MotK into promoting Yuntai. Don't be surprised if Sakurei is banned soon. He has a very long history of disruption, and seems to be trying for a ban now. DRC is already associated with the Yuntai, and adding more sign-ups is just a one-way promotion. It doesn't give any incentive for people already registered there to come here.
Treacherous scoundrel. Such outrageous allegations were brought forth against our hero. Slowly the scoundrel turned into a villain. Our virtuous hero had only the intention to help. Not once did it cross his mind to cause harm to MotK. The villain thought badly of him, and as a result assumed intentions into his actions, which never existed. The mysterious black man, whom we shall just call the Black Man from here on out, however, was not sided with the villain but with our hero. But even so, the black man did not notify our hero immediately, as he thought naught of the villain's threats. Not one alive our hero could have known what the villain had planned for him.
Well, I don't know how to say this, but you're wrong. There's a handful of active players who are not here, or A&T for that matter. As far as I know, Diplore isn't registered here, Kana is registered on both but doesn't use this site. Everlasting is registered on either site. MotK only uses A&T as well. There's also a new GFW player, Megapulse/Turksa, who isn't registered on with the site. And those are just the big names. Of course there's a good number of worse players who play but aren't here. Active players who are here now are here mostly because they have been here for a long time at this point, Kirby, Zill or myself. New people who stay active just don't join anymore. HME is not an active board and hasn't been for a long time. But to be at least a little bit on topic, if you don't see the obvious benefits of the collaboration, then sure. But clearly there aren't any downsides to actually agreeing to do it.
Finally we see our hero, halfway through the story. Our hero continued his endeavor to spread the truth. The villain, however, became enraged. She stomped and tried to silence everyone in the hero's party. But there was one man who was not intimidated, Zillion Brine, a man who, in return for tremendous results in search for science magic, lost his sanity. Also called the Crazy Man, Zil for short. He alone had the courage to press forward and challenge the villain.
Can you explain why you're still opposed to the collaboration idea? Some very good points were made in support of it, and it looks like everyone else in this thread is on board.
He already looks crazy. A most pressing question that no one dared to ask. It looked like our hero and his allies may have breached through the villain's tough defenses. Unfortunately, it was all for naught, as the villain paid the Crazy Man no mind and proceeded to march forward with her efforts to quench all resistance towards her ideals. However, the slander towards our hero did not stop.
Thanks for the input though. I encourage people to post ideas even if they might not work out. Though I wish people would stop derailing with the collaboration idea already. It's just Sakurei's attempts to detract attention from MotK by having sign-ups here for there, and should have been ignored from the start. I asked ZM if he thought an actual collaboration was feasible, as in something designed and run by both sides, but he didn't have any ideas on how to implement one either.
A most wild accusation that is as hollow as it is foolish looking. Everyone knows our hero fights only for righteousness and cute girls. The ignorance the villain purposefully displayed was of no relevance. Neither our hero nor his allies would stop here. They were determined to finish what they had begun. However, our hero did not want to allow that unjust accusation to stand unchallenged. With his sharp mind and clever wits, he went on to discredit the villain's words in their entirety.
What a pathetic accusation. I think you overestimate how much I care about activity either here or there. For starters, if you were to scroll up, you would see that the original suggestion wasn't even mine, but Cactus. I simply made some points as to why it could be beneficial for HME to actually agree, because you asked for someone, as in, anyone, to elaborate as to why a collab could have been beneficial. So that, too, isn't my fault but someone else's, in this case, yours. If you want to blame me for trying to help you, then sure, I'm a bad guy. My second post in this thread mostly concerned your simply wrong statement that almost all active players use both sites. Wrong, not as in sign up on A&A so she can be right, but wrong as in you're wrong, Carissa. These players here do not use both sites. While I admit that that was not the most on-topic post I have made, though neither was the post I replied from you, so again, nothing implies I'm trying to pull attention away from HME, however little it has left in the first place. The reason why I reiterated the point of a collaboration was because you just completely ignored the post I made because you asked for it. You didn't say these points aren't enough for me, or I don't think this will happen, referring to like Japanese players joining or whatever. You just replied to another post with a very obvious falsehood. Most of the active players now use both. I know that not addressing anything can be seen as a too bad I'm in charge, so no, but I'd rather you tell me, and everyone else who was in favor, directly instead of just shoving it under the carpet. But please, do tell me how I was trying to pull people away from here when I didn't make the original suggestion. Please do explain why my intention was obviously to push people to A&A when you asked for a post explaining why the idea had benefits. I beg of you, because I legitimately want to understand how I can move people from one place to another when ostensibly, they're already using both of them. I know this can be hard, but you shouldn't deny reality. This board is inactive. A&A is just as inactive outside of DRC, and activity has moved from forums to live chats, like the million Discord servers. If you have the capacity to understand that much, then surely you will be able to understand that even if, and I say if because it's not reality, I tried to pull people away from here, it would surely not be to a place just as inactive. Moving a couple corpses from one graveyard to another won't revive anything. That's not how necromancy works. P5, 1 No, this is off topic and I frankly don't care. This is important because this whole thread you have just been dismissing reality and people you don't like. Myself, Zil is also being completely ignored and you're clearly not making yourself look very reputable. PSS, if I get banned because of this, then please make sure the Hall of Fame keeps getting updated once a month. Sakurei.
Contrary to what the uncanny eye might believe, our hero was not agitated. Much such splendor, such wordy might. But alas, the villain was not understanding. The villain did not see the mistake in her ways that our hero so carefully laid out. She waited for but a few minutes until our hero had turned her his back. She then struck him with all her might, purging him and his allies indiscriminately, a forceful silencing that no hero's party could possibly withstand. The hero felt shaken, almost defeated. How could his light not penetrate the darkness of the villain's empty, delusional head? He had no idea, and frankly, neither do I. His allies from foreign parts rushed to his aid, providing comforting words such as XDDDDDD and Lamau to soothe our hero's heart, disregarding the fact that neither of these are, or ever will be, words. However, weak as they felt, neither his hero nor his party were defeated. Naturally, it was up to the crazy man who feared nothing to step forward first. The black man following him right behind. It was an uncommon pair, but the pressing danger of the situation demanded they protect our hero as well as themselves.
Hey, you've just deleted half the posts in a perfectly civil discussion. I strongly recommend you not escalate things so quickly, since it certainly does not go unnoticed, and it reflects very poorly on this site's moderation, the reputation of which is already on the rocks in many people's eyes. Please think this through. I don't want another disaster on this board. You asked for some further explanation of Cacto's initial suggestion, and that's precisely what was posted here. Maybe you don't want to do it for some reason. That's fine. You can openly explain why and disagree with people. The posts should not be deleted for no reason. Let's try to reason with one another.
Don't see my Cactus, Sakurei's, or Zill's posts were deleted. Is it because they mentioned the possibility of the collaboration and provided input on it? Why is that the case? They weren't being rude or malicious in any way possible. Sure, Sakurei might have been a tad snarky, but he was still offering valid points and was being quite reasonable. There was no reason to delete anything. I'm sorry, Karasa, but this just reeks of mod abuse. I know you're not keen on those affiliated with #KP, but they didn't do anything remotely wrong here. Deleting their posts was a very bad move.
The black man looks suspiciously much like the villain, but I assure you they're not the same. Together they formed a mighty team. The words of insanity flowing out of the crazy man's mouth and the black man's guilt-dripping cry penetrated the villain's skull. For hours, the villain resisted and fought the words that echoed in her head. Both sides were powerful, and during that struggle, 3 galaxies, 12 extra planets and 5 Earth countries were completely destroyed. Incredible what a couple of words can do to the ignorant and foolish. Holy sh! In end, our hero's party was victorious. The villain conceded and stopped her purge.
I've restored the other posts in the derail, since the rest weren't offensive. My reasoning at the time was that the thread was sidetracked on a collaboration that, as far as I can tell, was not a collaboration at all, but simply one-way promotion toward ENTI by having DRC sign-ups here, without MotK taking any part in organization. I felt it had been detracting from the purpose of this thread for a while, and needed to be removed to bring it back on topic. My mistake if the rest of the posts were about a collaboration in general, not the specific concept written out by Sakurei. There was enough support for a contest organized by both sites that I brought it up privately with ZM to see if it was feasible, but it seems to be impractical.
Again, this is not the black man. It's the villain. She retreated, and at first glance, everyone recovered from the purge. But sadly, our hero is still a victim of it. The villain was clever and sneaky. To seem like she lost the duel with the insanity and guilt trip, she recovered all that was lost by our hero's party members, but merely pretended to be ready to lose the fight against our hero's allies. By silencing and removing our hero from the realm of influence, she created a world where she can spread falsehoods and absurdity however much she wants. To further consolidate her reign in a kingdom of terror, she tried to lay blame onto our hero. The story isn't actually over yet, but everyone needs cliffhangers. As such, how will our hero emerge victorious, if at all? Can he defeat this mighty foe, or will he fail and lose all he had? Or perhaps he has already lost and we do not know. Time will tell, as we cannot do so right now,